First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us at postwrestling.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and it's Tuesday night. We just watched NXT, which means...
It means we're live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are you doing?
Hello, postmarks worldwide. And on Tuesdays at Post Wrestling, hello to the NXT friends.
Friends!
All over this beautiful world. How is everyone? Tonight, we are ready to talk about some WWE developmental wrestling, because that's what we do here.
You know, I was thrown off today. I was super thrown off today because Vic and Book knew exactly who that was at the end. This guy's never been on TV before in WWE, and they're like, it's Zilla Fatu. Look, it's Zilla Fatu. Whereas, meanwhile, throughout the match, they're like, oh, it's Santana, Montana. Wait, this guy's been here as another guy, right? Yes. But, man, that bloodline, eh? That bloodline, it doesn't matter.
The mana is strong with the Fatus. Another Samoan on WWE TV.
Are you excited, Braden?
The bloodline continues.
The bloodline will never die.
Then, now, forever, always, the bloodline continue. Zilla Fatu showed up at the end of NXT, and yes, they called him Zilla Fatu. Yeah. There's been a whole lot of chatter about him on the indies, some good, some bad. Now, is he going to be more like Zilla 98, Matthew Broderick, or are we talking like -1, or where are we with this?
Or is he going to be like Avery Styles and not help set up the ring in the Performance Center? Is he too good for that? Seeing that
he's building the ring tomorrow.
Yeah,
starting tomorrow, he's setting up that ring no matter what. Yes, Zilla Fatu shows up. I'm assuming we'll be wrestling at Heatwave in just a few weeks for NXT and maybe the NXT Championship. So a lot to talk about. It was a kind of a quiet episode, I thought. In my brain, I don't mean this necessarily as a negative, but in my brain, towards the end of the episode, I was like, that's a kind of a quiet episode. Not a whole lot, actually. And then a big debut off the end there.
I do feel the last few weeks, though, we've had a thing like, Naraku coming in, Cruz Montana coming in, Grayson Waller coming back. I feel every week, and I wonder if we're going to say it again today. Oh, he's probably going to take the title off of Tony D'Angelo, isn't he? Like, Tony's not holding this title long. He's going to take it. He's going to take it. So, yes.
Maybe that will happen. Maybe it's a 4-way at Heatwave. And, I mean, Zilla Fatu, again, he's got some people behind him and fans and stuff, so that's definitely an addition to Heatwave, which is going to be going up against All In. So I mean, that's another one thing they could announce that's like, hey, Zilla will be wrestling his first WWE NXT match at this PLE, so, and potentially winning an NXT Championship off the jump, because bloodline runs strong.
Why not?
So, yeah. They'll take over NXT
Anyone
as well.
but Tony D.
Yeah. At this point, pretty much. So yes, we'll talk all about some NXT and so much more. If you're listening, hello, Braden and Davie here. We are Up Next. We are also collectively known as Poison Rana, the podcast. Give us a follow in your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, all the things. We are on them at Poison Rana Pod. Check out all the lovely reels that we've been uploading, ridiculous stories, and so much more. Follow along on our content. We do so much more than talk just about NXT. Sundays is usually when we go live, including this upcoming Sunday. We'll talk all about the road to All In, AEW Dynamite from tomorrow night, SmackDown, maybe some more Kevin Owens and CM Punk dramas, and so much more. So we just recorded a show yesterday talking all about CM Punk, Kevin Owens, AEW Grand Slam, Mexico, and so much more. So we have a whole other podcast feed and YouTube feed called Poison Rana. Give us a follow and check out our free shows, including our show from yesterday where, we talked a whole lot about AAA and kind of the counter programming of AEW TV, maybe some talks about what AAA has become, what maybe WWE could do, maybe if they're looking at a Noah possibly, and a whole lot more in the world of wrestling. So go check out all the other shows that we got going on, and including this upcoming week, because the wrestling never stops, and we're covering it all. We're covering all the wrestling. It's an exciting time. It's summer. I know we all go outside, but we're trying
our best. I don't know if we've talked about one G1 match this year, but that's okay.
Okay, I watched one. One because I thought we would talk about it yesterday, and we didn't.
Let's talk about
it. It was Oleg Boltin.
Yep.
No relation to Michael Bolton. Versus Suji.
Okay.
Right. It was really good. It was actually really good.
I heard Bolton's really stepped up in this tournament. Right up there on the leaderboard, and
I'm cherry picking. Don't get me twisted. I was looking at some people kind of raving at some matches last week that weren't kind of some of the in the mainstream WWE or AEW, and I saw a lot of people praising some matches, including Meltzer praising the Suji versus Bolton Bowleg, and then
there was a Hanare match, right? That was
I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, been getting quite a bit of buzz as well.
And then I watched a CMLL show. It was Mascara Dorada versus Commander, and that was just absolutely nuts. So yeah, there's been some good wrestling all across the board. That's not your maybe your necessarily the main two kind of mainstream ones, but yeah, I know I haven't been watching the New Japan a whole lot. I've definitely
I do want to try and catch some of it. I watched day one, and then I've said this before. There was that one year was it because the Olympics or the World Cup or COVID or something where they did a late G1 around November time, and that suits me a lot better.
Why don't they do that? Do the tournament in the fall, and then that leads up to January 4th. Because lately they've done the thing where the guy challenges earlier, and then that's the winner could be the champion. They've messed it up a little bit.
But then what do you do with Tag League, eh?
No, come on. I mean, well, I'll tell you what's probably going to happen with Tag League. Cope and Christian, CNC baby.
Yeah,
he's doing Arena Mexico. He's coming here with Maple Leaf Pro at the Gardens here in Toronto, and he wants to do Tokyo Dome. Well, he's either doing a singles match or he's doing a tag match with Christian. So I imagine that is something to look forward to for maybe a Wrestle Kingdom. But yeah, G1, I'm not necessarily my finger's not on the pulse there of who should win and what's going where, because New Japan, it's dropped a lot in my must watch viewing. A lot of the stars are kind of gone from that show, and some of the new people, hey, you know what, to the best they are working, but can't say it's necessarily getting me or interesting me. But yeah, well, we do talk a whole lot of other wrestling. We are excited about AEW All In. We will be going to the show, Wembley, at the end of August. So if there is any listeners, UK listeners, or people traveling in for the show, Davie and myself will be attending not only All In, but we will be at Rev Pro the night before. My first Rev Pro show. Very excited to watch some British graps. Is there any rounds matches? Is there going to be,
we can hope. Yeah, we can hope and pray.
Here in Canada, you live here now. You are a Canadian citizen now, my Canadian brethren. But every time wrestling comes to Toronto or Canada, the hockey stick gets pulled out. What are some British things I should be looking for? In Montreal, we got to hear French-speaking counts like un, deux, trois, and all that. But what's a British trope?
I'd say you've heard all of them.
Like the singing?
A lot of singing. Yeah, a lot of singing. Yeah. I mean, we will be with the Ogdens as well, who are known for getting all the songs going. So they're the ones to blame for all of it.
We're going to have our man Neil, John Pollock. We're going to have Bushby. Yeah, Jesse from the Six, Reckless Rob. It's going to be a part, you, myself, and a few others. So very excited. If you are going to these shows, please hit us up. DMs are always open. Comment on the shows, whatever have you. We would love to have a few pints before these shows or after or whatnot, because we will be in London, bruv, and having a good time. We will be recording a bunch of content while traveling out there as well. So looking forward to a whole lot of that. We're coming off
Green
a beach
Man,
weekend.
if you are coming,
Is that it?
Yeah, the Green Man, about 15 minutes away from 15-minute walk, I should say, from Wembley Stadium. Beautiful pub, a lot of beers on tap, nice back. We don't call them patios in the UK. We call them beer gardens. So great big beer garden. You can hang out. We'll be there. Bushby, Pollock, Neil, the whole crew, and I know some listeners have been saying they'll be coming along as well. So if you are in the London area and want to come along, this is just a hangout. It's not an event or anything, but just come and hang out with us in the beer garden, because the weather back home has looked glorious the last few weeks. So I'm hoping it sticks for while we're over there.
Yeah, we'll hang out before All In the afternoon at this patio, the Green Man Pub. Again, we'll remind you closer to. We'll post some things, but show up. We'd love to have a few pints and some chats, and you want to hear some stories, take some photos, all that fun stuff. I still got some stickers. I might make some pins and stuff. So we will be there. The Post Wrestling people, the Poisonrana people, we will be there for All In weekend. And please, DMs are always open to contact us, because super excited about that in a few weeks happening. What else do we got going? I feel like there's a whole lot going on in wrestling. It's summertime. We had a beach weekend. We're pretty cooked from that. Some sunburns.
How are your bites?
My mosquito bites, they're okay. I'm remembering I injured you. Is your thumb okay? I thought I had burned your thumb.
I think you and your girlfriend were trying to kill me all weekend, to be honest. But yeah.
We had some injuries. We had some injuries at the beach in camping. Our friend Graham brought out his white Challenger. His late brother passed away, and he now like owns his brother's car, and he doesn't take it out too often. But he made it a special night to come out and flex at Wasaga Beach, Ontario. So we had quite the weekend. Shout out Graham, all the love to Goldie and our Big Tom and the whole crew. It was a very lovely.
Yeah,
we had campfires. Your first Wasaga Beach. Your first time going like past a certain area outside the city in Toronto. So
yeah,
proud of you.
It was a great time. Would love to do it more. I don't know if time this summer, because literally going away at the end of next week. But yeah, it was a super fun time. And
I loved the when you roast the weenies on the fire, and then like you dice them to make it like an octopus. That's my new favorite thing. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So now we have to go back to the real world and watch wrestling.
Something about the word weenie. I don't know.
Wiener?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Hot dog?
Dogs.
Who even decided to call something dog? Like, it's food that we eat. Why would you call it that? Like, of all the things to call it, you know. But
I don't know, man. I'm just a wrestling podcaster. I can't help you there.
Well, we can talk about some NXT from tonight.
Well, shall we plug what else we got on the Patreon going on?
This is true. We have a really big show that we're recording. We said we're excited about All In. I swear we'll get to NXT. But a big show we're planning to do. If you're excited about Omega Ospreay as much as we are, then this is the podcast for you. Is it not?
Yes. We're doing an Ospreay versus Omega retrospective, a profile / best match ever. We are going to be looking at the start of their rivalry from their PWG match way back when, I think, 2015, right the way through to their match in Toronto, their second sort of big encounter in part one of Ospreay versus Omega. And then after Wembley, we're going to be talking in part two about kind of the whole AEW rivalry. So this is sort of the pre-New Japan and New Japan rivalry, because Ospreay was still kind of New Japan at that Forbidden Door. We'll be talking all about that in a bit of a... If you've listened to our Champ is Here episodes or our profile episodes, very similar in the style to that, but we will be dissecting the matches as well. And then hopefully by the end of the two episodes, we'll decide what is the greatest Ospreay versus Omega match.
Yes, this is going to be a great primer for this match. We're going to go all the way to like Ospreay and PWG with Omega. That it's a very, very rare match there. Then, of course, their New Japan, Tokyo Dome, and then Forbidden Door. Like, fantastic set of matches and a little bit of a great story with Will kind of following in Kenny's footsteps through New Japan and all that. So very excited to go through this story and record a pod covering this whole thing, setting us up for All In Wembley. So very excited about this one. That will be recording in just a few days. Going to catch up and watch all that stuff tomorrow. So that'll be out on the Patreon next week. And then, this week. But next week, because it's a heat wave in a few weeks, maybe it's a heat wave where you are, or maybe it's not. But there is a heat wave because we've decided to go and review ECW Heat Wave 2000 from almost 26 years ago. ECW. I didn't even look up this card, but we're going to do it.
All I know is there's some kind of invasion on this show.
Nice.
I believe. We've got Just Incredible and Tommy Dreamer in the main event.
Oh,
doesn't that just sound fantastic?
Say less. Oh my God.
Rhino, Sandman, Jerry Lynn, Steve Corino. I don't know. Like I've not seen this show as far as I'm aware. But quite often bad shows are good to review. And it's been a while since we've done an ECW show. And if you do want to watch along with our little kind of book club we've got going on, we have found a link. So patrons,
nice.
we will hook you up because unless you're living in the Philippines, where I think even there the network doesn't exist anymore. The ECW shows haven't migrated to Netflix and ESPN and Peacock, etc. quite yet. So we'll hook you up. Don't worry.
We have reviewed Heatwave 98 in the past. We've reviewed tons of matches from Heatwave. We've done tons of ECW reviews, but it's been a while. So next week, we'll look at Heatwave ECW 2000. Very excited. Just Incredible. Oh, my God. So excited. This week's Kenny Omega. Next week's Just Incredible. It's like, same
a pork
feather.
chop in the main event. There you go.
Yeah. Is he really Portuguese, though? Is he? He looks like he is. As, it takes one. I could be a great Just Incredible Halloween costume. Just saying. I want the mask. We tried to get him on the shout out the Flying Pork Chop show I do with Steve, the podcast. We did one a few weeks ago, but we've tried to get Just Incredible on the show. But then that story came out with Maven about him no showing people and taking their money. And then we were like, you know what? Maybe we don't send him.
I was going to say, did he ask you for money?
Absolutely, he did. Yeah.
I responded to a tweet once. He was like, "Hey, would love to be on more podcasts and stuff." And I was like, "Hey, Justin. Wow. I'd love to know your story." And he's like, "Cool, it's like $300." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
That's incredible.
It's all right. I'll watch ECW Heatwave 2000 in about 5 years' time from now instead.
I do want the mask though. The
Aldo Montoya?
Yeah, exactly. So tons of shows, patreon.com/Poisonrana. Check us out. We have so many movie reviews, retro wrestling, and so much more. $5 a month.
I am Gaijin in the chat saying, I haven't seen Heatwave 2000, but 98 was probably one of ECW's best pay-per-views. Well, you know what you can do? You can go back. You can sign up to our Patreon and go back in the archives where we have reviewed ECW Heatwave 1998. We've talked all about that. But also more recently, if you're a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, sticking in the vein of ECW, Philly.
Shout out World Champ family member Brent on the Patreon selected It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the wrestling episodes. Basically, we looked at the Domaniac, aka Roddy Piper, showing up, as well as Danny DeVito and the Trash Man, and so much more. So if you're an Always Sunny fan, this Up Yours episode is definitely for you. Shout out Brent. This was a lot. Roddy Piper should have won an Emmy for that. That's Domaniac, in my opinion. Like, The Wrestler, fantastic movie, but
we do
Domaniac...
a whole episode about that, how this show has never won an Emmy or even been nominated. Roddy Piper getting the sole Emmy for this episode would have been great. It would have been funny. It would have been.
Would have been great. Well, we will talk about all the other wrestling going on this Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Poison Rana Live. Again, follow us on YouTube and Insta and all that stuff. But we will go live this Sunday. But now, here on Tuesdays, we can talk about some NXT because it's NXT from August 11th, 2026. We get a recap of last week with what happened here with the NXT Underground and the ear injury.
We had that devastating
Tragic.
ear injury.
Yeah.
We had Grayson Waller showing up. We had Cam Hendrix and Mason Rook brawling. So much going on.
So much. Well, we start tonight with Lizzy Wren looking for her tag partner tonight, Shawn Spears, but he's nowhere to be seen. And Nico and Izzy, who are her opponents tonight, go, we told you. We knew he'd do this. You didn't listen. And she says, well, if it's got to be a 2-on-1 handicap match, then so be it. So she comes out and she's getting the best of Izzy. She's going to go 1-on-2 in a intergender handicap match. But here in WWE, the rules obviously are that you can't attack the opposite sex. So she's beating up Izzy and kind of...
Which already is just ridiculous. But
yeah.
She did have a cool entrance here because she always does her voiceover, which I guess now we know it's not pre-recorded because she's like, whether Spears is here or not, Izzy Dame and Nico Vance will find out that Lizzy Wren and Heavy Metal will never, ever die. And runs the ring with this.
Lizzy Wren and the Brawling Birds should get together.
God,
kill me. Great stable there. Coronation Street, the East Enders. The Brawling Buzz. Or as Booker T calls her, the Rainmaker. So 2-on-1 handicap. She gets the best of Izzy, and then Nico tags himself in and stands up against her. And the ref is like, hey, this is dumb. And then EK Prosper's music hits. He runs out, hits an acai moonsault as Nico tries to chase after him. And now he's wrestling. So the ref is like, well, it's official. You're in this match, I guess. So they get the best of these two and do like topes. When we come back from commercial break, Izzy was gaining some control, but Lizzy ends up hitting a top rope Rana. But then EK's in there and stops Nico. But then Izzy hits EK with a crucifix bomb. So the ref is like, oh, I guess I do allow them to attack each other. Nico hits a headbutt off the top for a near fall, and then pops up Lizzy, who tries to hit him with the Thunderstruck, but in midair, Izzy catches her and power bombs her. This was a pretty cool spot for a near fall. Eventually, there is the Thunderstruck to Nico, and then a Shining Wizard and a moonsault from Prosper to Nico for the win. And the Culling take another L here. With or without Shawn Spears, they lost.
I thought it would have been interesting if when Nico tags in, Lizzy just goes to the apron and just stands on the apron. And then Nico's like, well, fuck, I've got no one to wrestle.
I got no one to fight.
Tag out. Like, really, like, EK Prosper
dumb.
Shouldn't have come out because, you can't do... In a regular tag match, maybe you can do this. With the rules of WWE style intergender matches, you can't really do this. It didn't really work. There was some nice stuff in there, though. I do think Izzy stepped up quite a lot. And I actually have quite liked her chemistry with Lizzy, even though please don't keep putting them in the ring together because
it's very hard.
Booker's just going to explode. And honestly, it's hard for us reviewing it as well. But they had some pretty nice action in there. The idea of the match was pretty dumb. And I don't really care where Shawn Spears is, unfortunately. So
true.
I assume we're meant to think he was laid out, or maybe he's just looking at chairs somewhere, like got sidetracked. But I thought the action between the women was pretty nice here. And I like EK Prosper a lot. Like that Acai moonsault he hit right away looked really nice. So yeah, like stupid match, but there was some fun stuff in it, and the crowd seemed to get into it as well. Yeah,
I do like EK Prosper. He's one of my favorites on NXT a lot lately, and he keeps being thrown into certain matches and impressing. So this is a way better match than it would have been with Shawn Spears. Unfortunately, I completely agree. Like, not I'm not concerned. I'm like, oh no, we didn't get to. I wonder what's the mystery now. It's like, no, I just hope he's just. Is that how he's taken out? I would assume we could do a better write-off for Sean Spears, Ty Dillinger, the chairman.
That's it. He's done.
That would be crazy if that's the
it.
write-off there.
Yeah.
But I think his character ran its course. The culling kind of ran its course. I think Nico with a fresh coat of paint would be great. Like trying a whole new thing, because he's not bad. Same with Izzy. Like you said, she's pretty good, decent at least. So, but I do love Izzy Rain as well. One of the new blood NXT favorites that I've been enjoying. But kind of weird that they booked it. Like, why would you make it this way? But I guess to help get EK over as this baby face. But yeah. Anyways, now I'm just picturing Sean Spears alone in a room with a bunch of chairs. It's his heaven. I'm imagining he was supposed to be taken out. That's the storyline.
Maybe, yeah, but can you imagine, like, you see next week, it's just before he arrives, Izzy and Nico just set up like a corridor full of chairs. Be like, this will distract him.
He starts smelling them.
Different types of chairs and
sniffing them,
feeling them, folding them, unfolding them.
Love seats, recliners.
He fucking loves chairs, that guy.
So ridiculous. We can't pour one out yet, but like,
I mean, they said his name. They said his name,
right?
So
right.
That's always a good sign. I think.
We talked about it briefly on our show the other day on Poison Rana, but we could technically pour one out in a good way here for Tatum Paxley showing up on WWE Friday Night SmackDown in the stable we're calling the Dollhouse, like
the Dollhouse, yes.
St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay Dollhouse. I've frequented these. Wait, what? I'm happy for Tatum Paxley. She's been someone here on NXT that we've watched and seen her grow, and she's been like double champion here. She's pretty much done everything there was to do. But think of where she's come from: the Diamond Mine, to being spooky, playing with dolls, playing with Wendy Chu. There's all sorts of crazy stuff that Tatum got into here in NXT. So I'm super happy with her, and hopefully the Charlotte, Alexa, and Tatum thing can really help push her and become a star on WWE. This is a way better way to bring someone up than kind of what they've been doing with. An example would be like Sol Ruka at this time. So yeah, pour one out, but we celebrate for Tatum Paxley on WWE SmackDown. That's awesome.
Happy for her.
Yeah. Taters.
Lola next.
Yeah. Vice City, baby. Vice City. It's going to happen. We see last Tuesday, Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne, the new NXT Tag Champions. They walk into the locker room and they were very excited. And they say that they've always been underrated, but back as a tag team. And we want to appreciate and show love and show appreciation to the underrated teams. And we want to be fighting champions, says Tavion. And he says, anytime, any place, anybody can get it. And Romeo and Noam Dar are kind of there. Lots of people are there. And then Romeo's like, hey, I want it. And Dar's like, let's give it a second there. Chill. And they go, we will fight any oncoming teams. So, yeah.
You also had a little moment with like Bronco and Price, didn't you? Like Bronco was like up for the challenge, and Price doesn't seem too interested anymore because like they were saying about, we've been loyal this whole time to each other and all that, and you could like see them have a moment of tension as well.
So from that we see Kendall Gray with Wren Sinclair in the trainer's room. She's got an injured ear. Looks like she was at a like this was reminding me of something. Who had something on their ear recently? Was it Trump post-assassination attempt?
Yeah. Yes.
Kendall coming straight from a rally right after that happened with this ear thing on. She's getting ready.
It'll be completely healed within a couple of days. So that's
it. Might already be. Yeah. That ear attack, that ear injury might actually be more.
Which one?
I might not even finish. I'm not even. Yeah. Okay. I was like, do I want to finish this sentence? Glad you had my back, mate. I appreciate it. I was like, You know, maybe I'm biting my tongue on that one. You're like, nah, just fucking say it. Yeah. So we see Izzy and EK backstage. Oh my God, already Lizzy and EK backstage. There's a lot of talking on this show on Tuesdays. Lizzy and EK, and he goes, the men's division's got to step it up, and that's what exactly I'm doing. And they're being interviewed, but instantly they are interrupted by Callie Armstrong. Grabs this mic, goes into the ring, and calls out Kendall and says, I want my shot at the NXT Women's Championship. When she's interrupted by Kalani Jordan, who comes out and says, no, we are not doing that. We are not doing that. Based on what do you get a championship opportunity? I am next in line. That's when the champion, Kendall Gray, comes out with her bandaged up ear. She says that, Kalani, you're right. And I have with me a contract, and it's what you want, right? You want to face me for the championship? Well, you are the number one contender, and it's official. You can get the match. Kalani says, okay, should we do it tonight? Should we do it next week? How about we do it at Heatwave? So it is confirmed. Kalani Jordan versus Kendall Gray for the NXT Women's Championship. Wren starts to get involved when Callie starts to talk a little more trash here. And then she goes to hit Wren, but hits Kendall. So then Wren attacks Kalani. And then it's this whole thing where Wren and Kendall are left down when Kalani and Callie have this like standoff here. So I imagine they're kind of teasing that if Kalani were to win this belt, then maybe she would go on to defend it against Callie or a tag match or something. I didn't
we got the tag match next week.
Yeah, they announced that.
Wren and Kendall against them, but it is weird, kind of setting up the tension between Kalani and Callie. Like we've had quite a few babyface v babyface matches for the titles in NXT, haven't we, over the last couple of years? Like as recently as Lola and Kendall. Heel v heel really doesn't work as well, I don't think. So if Kalani does end up winning it, that is a strange direction. Or maybe Kalani isn't the one to take it.
Yeah, I feel like that just muddies the story of like Kalani, who rightfully, even as the heel here, is interrupting the other heel and basically saying like, what have you done? I've been here for years shooting in the gym, and like all of a sudden you want a championship match? Like, no, I'm the number one contender and I'm getting the shot. So it kind of baby faces Kalani in a way, because now I don't want to see that. I want to see you face Kendall. Absolutely. 100%. So I don't know if Kalani takes it from her at Heatwave, but I do think Kalani will be champion in 2026, and you know what? Probably should be at this point. Maybe
like Kendall a lot, but I do want Kalani to win this belt.
Yeah, me too. So maybe there's a series of matches between the two, or something happens, because Kendall's great right now. So maybe you don't just want to take it off of her unless you have plans to move her up. But I'd keep her as champion, but I do want Kalani to eventually take it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that tag match is set up, but Kalani, Kendall set for Heatwave. We see Stone and Cruz Montana when Keanu Carver interrupts them and says, what's good? Says, why are you getting opportunities when, I'm not getting these things? And they kind of have a moment face to face here. Cruz gets ready because he has a match later. And then Stone says, hey man, what's your problem? Why you keep being like this? Why you acting like this?
Why are you nice? Why are you suddenly nice and respectful to everyone? Like, what's that all about? Is essentially what Stone's saying.
Says, you ain't seen nothing yet. So, Keanu Carver, what's going to happen? We didn't see anything else from him tonight, but what's going to happen? We have our next match. Saquon Sugars taking on Dion Lennox. So, Sugars comes out with that theme song that I like the trap drums, but the 3-note piano thing just ain't it for me. But he's wearing very like pink. Is this all his thing because his name is Sugars? Is like candy inspired stuff? Is that?
I think he's just right? He was
the Candyman can
fed up of wearing black all the time in dark state. So
now he's candy. He's sweet.
That's why I like wearing color. I have to wear black at work. So
right when
I'm outside, I'll wear pink and greens and blues.
So Dion Lennox versus Saquon Sugars. Sugars gets the best of him and hits a big enziguri. Dion comes back with a very nice Northern Lights suplex and then turns into a pin. Saquon comes back and then the Dark State guys are on the outside. So he grabs his trusty baseball bat, but as he tries to get into the ring, the ref pulls it away, distracted. The lads there of Dark State throw him into the table, and then they throw him back in the ring, and Dion hits what I could best describe as the snowplow. Shout out, Al Snow. For the 1, 2, 3, what even was this match? What am I great? Like, no, that was it.
Dull. There was no heat.
Nothing ass match right here.
No heat. Like, the distractions were lazy. Like, was this the blow off of this?
Crazy. No, because then we're going to go back to.
Because they keep going to it because Waller gets him riled up. But yeah, this sucked. Like, this was worse than their last one. And their last
this was the worst. Bad. This was the worst match on this show, I felt like. There's just like nothing. Just
end this. Like, end this story already. Like, it's not doing anyone any favors. Like, I'm waiting for. I thought, I honestly, after last week, I thought Sugars was going to win this one, and then Osiris and Cutler were going to boot Dion out the group. Because you know, last week they were like, none of them really in their Dark State gear or anything, and it seemed like Cutler and Osiris were more together. It was, this was just dull, just lazy. And as I said, for such a blood feud these two are trying to build up, zero heat in it at all.
Yeah, the Dark State stuff is so dead in the water, just so cold. Not even sure. If you want to try to push Sugars, that's probably the best case scenario to save something from this group, but got to change that piano in that theme song first.
Yeah.
There's a beatdown on him afterwards, and they hit the shield bomb while the lights are flickering on and off. So yeah, this feud does continue even more so. But we see Mr. Stone in the office with his phone on speakerphone with Rey Mysterio, who is mentioning, "Hey, did I tell you I'm the GM of AAA?" And you Stone says, "I do now." He says, "Hey, did you see what I'm doing with Roman Reigns in Mexico City?" And he goes, "Yes, I'm aware. Great job, Ray." And he goes, "Well, I want to know what's next for the NXT AAA relationship." And he goes, "Because I have an idea. How about in 2 weeks, Rey Fenix can defend his cruiserweight title in a match on NXT?" And Mr. Stone says, "Great. Next week, there'll be a fatal four-way match to find out who the challenger will be." Ray says that he loved watching EK prosper tonight, so he should be in it. And then also handpicks La Parca, and that Stone will take care of finding who the other two will be in that match, and will be announced later tonight. And then Rey Mysterio says, "Hey, that's great. Look, I got to take care of some issues, some personal stuff, so I'll talk to you later. Take care," and hangs up the phone. I hope Rey Mysterio's okay. He's got some issues. A great, wow, fantastic job. Glad we worked that match out. Talk to you soon. Instead, I got some issues to take care of. So I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you could just say, "All right, I got to shoot now, but glad we got the match sorted."
So is Roman like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that date." That's what's happening. I'm not actually working that Raw. So yes, Mr. Stone and Rey Mysterio working together. Rey Fenix in a match in a few weeks. We'll find out who is.
That's
later.
Cool. I always thought Fenix should have had a little stint in NXT in the first place, to be honest. Like, not that he needs to learn how to wrestle for TV audiences, but as has been evident his whole time on the main roster, they don't know what to fucking do with him. And I think at that point when he came in, you know, what you're talking, Ricky Saints, Javon Evans, like that kind of class. Like, I think he'd have made the men's division so much more exciting. So I'm kind of glad we're getting him come down. And I mean, shall we skip ahead and just say who the other two people are while we're like on it?
So it's Tristan Angels.
Yeah.
And who? Oh my god.
I'm blanking. It was EK. It was
I literally
Tristan,
just
and fuck.
I literally watched this show, man. Yeah. Oh, Romeo.
Romeo Moreno. There you go.
Romeo,
Yes.
Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Yes,
Um,
he's going to be in the match next week.
Is it EK or is it Tristan winning this one?
I
like
would,
EK.
yeah, I'd rather see EK Prosper versus Ray Phoenix, but Tristan being the heel kind of makes sense. But nah, go with EK. Screw it.
All right.
So I did forget to mention last week where Mr. Stone also was talking on the phone with like a mystery person, which
Yes.
did I guess set something us up for tonight. But I remember after we recorded, I was like, oh, I think I skipped over where he was like, oh, I'll talk to you next week or see you next week or something. So I'm assuming that was Zilla Fatu, but Sugars is in the training room getting his shoulder checked out because he got power bombed after his match. Grayson Waller comes in and goes, this is NXT, lad. What, are you feeling sorry for yourself? Why don't you go do something about it? And walks off. So Sugars is like, this guy's right. So he grabs his baseball bat, he hops on over, grabs a chair, and walks out the room like, I'm going to get that dark state. So, yeah, we'll see what that leads to. It's not going to be anything exciting, but he's listening to Grayson Waller, kind of babyface.
I kind of like the idea of Grayson Waller just walking around backstage, kind of waking people up a bit.
Yeah.
Like
he said, he also said, yeah.
TikTok lad. Like
he's like, stop tweeting. You were tweeting
yourself.
about me. Yeah. Like, oh, you're using social media talking about me, but you're feeling sorry for yourself. Like, go do something. So he is, I guess, because it's what's about to happen. We go to our next match. Wren Sinclair taking on Zaria for the Women's North American Championship here. Zaria gets the best of her, puts some boots to her face, some foot washes. I think there was a weird one where she meant to do it but didn't connect, and Wren still sold it like it did. It was kind of awkward. There was a butterfly suplex that's blocked. I guess Zaria watches Wren Sinclair's patented butterfly because she knew how to block it. But she goes for her choke in the corner, but Wren somehow slips out of that. Eventually, it's Zaria in control again, bullying her. There's a hope spot with a victory roll from Wren for a 2 count. The F5 is then blocked and turned into the final wrench, but then that's blocked, and Zaria hits the spear when Wren finally gets up from that, and Zaria looks like she might set up for something. Sugars and Dion come out through the entrance ramp and are fighting. All of these jobber cop security guards are trying to separate them with the rest of Dark State while it's Sugars swinging the baseball bat in the chair. They get in the ring when then Sugars clotheslines Dion out of it. This, of course, distracts everyone in the ring except Zaria, who then hits the F5 and gets the win. 64 days as champion right now. What a stupid finish. You know what? I said earlier the Sugars-Dion match was the worst match on this show. I was wrong. I think it was this one. And I'm not even a hater of Wren. I love Wren, and I'm not a hater necessarily of Zaria. But this was another stupid 2 matches back-to-back where refs are like, oh, look. Like, come on. I suspend my disbelief quite often when I watch NXT Degrassi High every Tuesday night. But 2 back-to-back matches that were stinkers with bad finishes. I was like, this was a bad.
I at least preferred the action in this match.
Sure.
And I see more of an upside in both these two, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, stupid distraction finish. Just yeah. I mean, it leads to us getting a good thing, which is going to be a unification match. So finally, after all these years, getting rid of the Women's North American Championship, and we can just have the Speed Championship represent the women in NXT.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, just stupid finish. I felt we had this the other week where we had like 2-3 very similar like distraction or DQ finishes in a row, and
every week.
Same case tonight, and it was disappointing. I actually don't. Zaria's improving. I think now, like the longer Soul is in the like rear, like window. Like I think Zaria's starting to come through a bit more on her own. Wren, I really enjoy Wren. I did find the commentary funny in this book, basically going like, Well, let's see if Wren Sinclair can last more than 5 minutes. We know she's good in 5-minute matches, but how will she cope in the 6th minute? And then Vic is like, oh, we're in 6 minutes, Book. Oh, and she's still hanging on. It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's probably a good thing, what we'll talk about. Yeah, did not like it. I was like, man, 2 back-to-back matches that were just nothing. Like, I guess you're right. At least there's something with Wren and Zaria where I like Sugars, but him and that Dark State stuff, it's got to go. It's got to end. It's got to change. We go to a video with Shiloh Hill. He's on his phone somewhere in the woods. He says he's got his fractured manskilla, something to do with his face, right? Says his doctor had a checkup this week, and his doc then says that he's healing really fast. The bones are healing very fast, and that the air bubbles inside my face are gone, and the swelling is going down. And his doctor said in 30 years of practice, he's never seen anyone heal this fast. And then we see like he's opening this like cabin in the woods. There's like a cat running by.
He's got dry ice, smoke everywhere.
It's basically like your local like department store when it's Halloween time with all these like props. He's got a bag with like all these masks in it. In somewhere in the woods, he's got these dolls. There's like doll masks, Jason masks. He puts on like 5 masks because then it cuts to him and he's peeling off masks layer after layer. Like, could he be wearing any more masks? Pretty much. He says the fog is coming, but not the poison fog. For a second there, I thought he said poison frog, our favorite. He mentions the poison mist, and Naraku mentions that he's from a city in Japan near Mount Fuji, the city of water. And he mentions that it's interesting that he's focusing on something from the city of water when Naraku seems to be interested in the sky. But each color of the mist represents different effects, and he's going to go through them the next few weeks to figure out what they do. Mentions he might find some varmint to try them on, which is animal abuse, by the way, Shiloh. Come on, don't do that. But
yeah, some pests.
Loved the seems interested in the sky.
Yes.
Comment if you're not catching the drift of what he means. The city of water. What about the sky? Yes, Naraku is in fact married to the genius of the sky, Io Sky. But
he also kind of revealed the face mask he's going to be wearing to protect his face from this injury, I guess, because he had mask. Like the Jason mask, a clown mask, and then had like the sort of, almost like the Phantom Undertaker face mask.
Dashing Shiloh Hill.
Yeah. But yeah, testing it on pests. Does this mean he's going to see a cockroach and try the green mist?
Oh, okay. That's all right.
Rats and he'll try a red mist.
Yeah.
Just seeing the different effects of these mists.
What do all the different mists do? Like Tajiri with the green.
Well, we got green, black, and red. Do we have any others? That's kind of blue mist.
Someone could do blue, right? Like an American color. It would feel like you could do red, white, and blue. Rainbow mist. Someone could use. Right?
How would you spray that in one?
I don't know. You're a bartender. Sometimes there's the crazy layered shots,
the layered
right?
shots, yeah. Try and somehow separate it. I don't know.
We have a lot of fireballs in wrestling, and Naraku used the fireball book, but who used to do the Spitfire thing, like Ricky the Dragon or something. But I like that Shiloh Hill is doing these weird things. The cabin in the woods video, the humor there it's almost Addams Family for me. Like, he thinks this is normal and everything around him is spooky and monstery and Addams Family. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting that he's figuring out. Yeah.
He's lovable and likable and friendly and is a baby face. He's a good guy.
He's Uncle Fester. Yeah.
He likes all this weird shit, and he's living in a horror movie, almost not aware that he thinks he's in a Disney film, kind of, that's sort of, it works. I'd have liked more interesting wrestling facts. I enjoyed that last week, and I do hope he continues this. Tell us more about weird shit that's happened in wrestling over the years.
Just weird shit in general that he can maybe tie into this. For someone who, as far as I'm concerned, this is a legit injury if they're mentioning, okay, maybe not all the healing stuff, but I'm sure if this is the real injury and he's got to wear this protective mask and stuff, they've done a good job so far of still keeping him relevant while off being injured. So good stuff from from this weirdo Shiloh Hill. We get a mention of CM Punk. He's going to be on some of the NXT Live. He's going to be at a show, I think, this Saturday for anyone who goes to some of these NXT Live events. And if you do, hey, we love any live reports or feedback and stuff like that. DMs are always open, but check out. Maybe he'll wrestle. Think about it. You could see CM Punk versus Lexis King, possibly.
Oh, that would be
That's
good,
probably what. Wouldn't that be the match they run?
That probably is the match.
Wouldn't that be it? We've seen it, haven't we?
Lexis King Punk? Oh, yeah. Did we see that? Did they do that?
I'm pretty sure they did that. We go to our next match. Mason Rook taking on Cam Hendrix. These two have been beefing. Cam Hendrix has been injured. We talked about them kind of sparring on social media. The social media jabs continued. I saw Mason Rook post the cuck chair to Cam Hendrix, saying, hey, is this what you sit in while watching Monday Night Raw every week? So Rook and Cam Hendrix, they start to go at it. Rook just nails him with a forearm, takes him down instantly, starts just throwing him around. Hendrix gets hit with a Beal throw, and then finally grabs the arm of Rook, though, and slams it into the post, so he gets some offense here. He hits a spine buster to Rook for a near fall. Eventually, Mason comes back with an enziguri and then a body slam and this huge back senton. Booker T lost it. So did I. I rewound it. He squashes him. I hope Cam Hendrix is okay. This looked like it really hurt. Mason then picks him up and hits a blue thunder bomb for a 2 count. But what we kind of see is that Cam pulled the turnbuckle pad off, but the referee didn't see it. These NXT refs, I know this is developmental, but these refs don't see anything because this allows Cam to send Rook face first into the exposed turnbuckle. The ref still has no idea, and then allows Hendrix to hit what he calls the primetime kick, kind of like the Thunderstruck or the
Showtime kick.
Showtime kick? Sorry, what's his name?
So, yeah.
Primetime Showtime. He hits this and pins Cam Hendrix. Sorry, Cam Hendrix pins Mason Rook and gets the upset here on NXT. Quite the shock. I definitely laughed at this finish here, but good for Cam Hendrix. The guy called you a cuck, and you got the win on NXT. Wow, good for you. Mason Rook with the Samoa Joe moveset here.
Yes, I've been enjoying Cam Hendrix, actually. I think he's stepped up with all these opportunities. I think he's been making the most of his screen time. I think he's been pretty entertaining. They've dropped the ball on Mason Rook, though.
Yes.
Like this, there's been some fun stuff online back and forth, but this is not where I think Rook should be based on his debut, where he's a million miles away from that NXT title right now. And he debuted by laying out the champion. I don't think he seems intimidating anymore. And then just looks like a bit of a joke losing here to Cam Hendrix. So I'm more impressed by Cam right now. And that's not to say that's anything to do with Rook's ability. I just think they've really gone wrong with this character since his debut, really.
Absolutely agree. Like this, as someone, you watch this show as a TV show, weekly, episodic. This guy came in as this guy who was attacking the champion. Then he never got a proper shot to go after the title. And then since then, he's lost a bunch on TV. And he's meant to be so like menacing. I'm comparing him to Samoa Joe earlier. He does the enziguri in the corner, the senton. Like he does similar big guy, scary powerhouse moves. But now they've kind of like cooled him down and positioned him, and at least someone who watches the show every week. Now I'm like, you've become kind of you're not threatening. You're kind of a bit of a joke right now. And then you didn't even get your lick here on Cam Hendrix. You lost. So I get that they're just doing this to finally, he's going to just crush Cam the next time. But that's what we needed here. I think we just needed him to just destroy him.
They kind of set something up with Waller last week as well. And it's you'd have thought he'd have just destroyed Hendrix, and then because Hendrix is the kind of character that can actually my doctor just said I'm actually 74.3% cleared and he got it wrong or whatever, he's a heel, he can make excuses. I thought like Rook was gonna steamroll this guy and then be facing Waller because he was upset with Waller's comments, but yeah, it's just, I don't know.
It's
He's
not
hanging backstage with Lizzy Rain, and I don't know. He doesn't seem intimidating anymore at all.
Yeah, he lost his aura, if you will. Like I didn't know much about him, but he's a big dude. Big bloke comes in beating people up, hitting body slams and splashes. I'm like, okay. And then now he's just kind of like being friendly and everything. Like, I don't know. There's a way you instantly positioned him or created this character that it's kind of like you always used to rag on Athena. What was her name in NXT? Ember Moon.
Yeah.
And it's like her wrestling and then what her character or how she presented herself was so different. And it totally killed every time she spoke or acted. And it felt like it was so different from what the wrestling character should be. And this guy's huge and hitting these big moves. He shouldn't be all friendly and then here losing. So I'm not saying this is the end of this guy's character, but they need to reevaluate what they can do with this guy. I'm sure there's a way better use of this guy that we could be doing where he's crushing people and not so smiley, hanging out. Make him a heel, actually. Maybe that would be more interesting as well. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not writing him off, but I need to
squash matches. You know,
I haven't seen anything from him.
People from Evolve or LG,
yeah, like
who we don't know who they are yet. Like it's like, yeah, we haven't really seen a decent match from him.
No, not really.
Nothing of substance, really.
So it's like all that hype is kind of like, oh, what really is this guy so far? So I'm not writing him off, but so far Mason Rook's NXT run hasn't necessarily been super exciting. The best stuff he's been doing is bitching this guy out on Twitter, and that's just not enough right now. And wearing double denim, which of course, obviously, Canadian tuxedo is nice, but stop smiling, be a heel.
Yeah.
We go to these guys; they know how to be heels. Vanity Project backstage, they're very upset about losing the tag titles last week. They demand a rematch in Mr. Stone's office when the champions Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights come inside. They say, yo, you want a rematch? Oh, it's like, yes, we deserve one, so we want a match next week. Mr. Stone says, how about this? If you want to win an opportunity to get a title shot, Jackson Drake can have a singles match, and if he wins, then not only can he get a shot at the North American Championship, but Vanity Project can also get another tag team title opportunity, and both matches can be at Heatwave. And Miles goes, oh, wait, 2 matches on one night? And then Vanity Project start to, like,
I think it's more, wasn't it more Tavion being like, that's crazy. Like, you can't.
Oh, 2 night? 2. I thought it was Miles who's like, oh, I thought I have to do both. And they kind of tease him and go, oh, I thought you were a fighting champion and this and that. So he goes, and then Tavion's like, yeah, he could do that. So Stone says, yeah, that will be the case. If Jackson Drake wins his match next week, then he'll get a title match against Miles, and in the same night, Vanity versus Miles and Tavion. But next week, Drake's opponent is Shiloh Hill. The fog rolls in. Quick before the fog rolls in. That's kind of a weird position, because then don't you imagine we are going to have those 2 matches at Heatwave?
Yes, I'd have thought so.
So maybe the broken orbital bone thing comes into play. That
can come into play, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the other way around, with Tavion being like, you can't do 2 in the same night, and Miles being like, I can.
I guess I will, yeah.
But sounds like a threat. 2 Miles Bourne matches in a night? Jesus. Tag match would be good. I liked Drake's jacket. I thought Jackson Drake's jacket was very nice. And yes, I guess, do you do this where Miles maybe... I'd like to see Jackson Drake win the title, to be honest, but would it make more sense for that match to go on first and Miles maybe scrape by, and then they drop the tag titles and Tavion can be upset because he's done double duty?
I would like to see that. Look, I know we just joked about Miles, but he is more exciting with the tag team with Tavion, so I actually would keep them together. But I would find the story more interesting if Drake were to take the title from him and then the golden Vanity prophecy come true, because
so he loses both in the same night.
I don't think that they would do that. I think maybe just give Jackson Drake the title, which I don't know if they'd even do that at this time, but I think this is a great time for Miles to step up and again show maybe why he's in this position, because a majority, I think, of people who watch this show kind of agree that this character has been really boring. Tavion, hella boring too. So putting them back together, I thought last week was the first step in the right direction. So I'm being positive, even though I think a lot of people who watch this are like, they're not that great, and even though he's a champion and been champion. So I think this is a great opportunity for them to step it up and put on some bangers, and that's what we kind of need from Miles. And I feel like he's got it in him. I know he's kind of this boring character, but I hope that maybe we could pull something out of some good stuff. But selfishly, as a big fan of Jackson Drake, I do want him to win that title. So even though I'm sure ex-WWE superstar Maven wouldn't be so happy or thrilled if Jackson Drake... Did you see any... What the hell's going on with that?
I did. I'm not wearing my I Heart Maven anytime soon.
Do you have an I Heart Stevie Richards shirt laying around?
Not yet, but I do have a white button-up shirt and a black tie. So.
Nice. Maven's theme song, though. Never forget.
Oh, yeah. All time.
Was Maven talking shit about Jackson Drake? He's like, this guy will never be anything as big as I was. And I was like, wait a second.
Something like that, yeah.
Wait a second. Maven said that? I'd give this guy a title right away and be like, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? North American champion. Just saying. And then Maven's like, well, I drop kicked the Undertaker out of the Royal Rumble. So,
It's memorable.
It's true. And his theme song. But I'd say, as someone who watches this show every week, I think Jackson Drake's my favorite on NXT.
He's great.
Is that really is that a crazy hot take? I'm sorry.
And I think the fact, like, if there's going to be an entertaining match for Miles Bourne in a singles match, Jackson Drake is one that can get it out for sure.
Yeah. This kid's like 22 or something like that. Like, come on, Maven. Don't pick on it. What are all these old heads picking on young up-and-coming kids in the wrestling scene? Come on. Well, from that, we have OTM, Lucian Price. He's about to make his way, and he says, like, to his partner, don't worry, I got this. Because there's some tension between these two in OTM. It's OTM's Lucian Price taking on Birthright's Lexis King. There's a huge slap from King, and then Price comes back with a big chop of his own, really leveling Lexis's chest here. You could see it.
This chop was insane. Yeah. It sounded like a firecracker going off. And
really loud.
I'm pretty sure. Do you remember that there was a Dynamite match? Wasn't it Ishii and Jericho? And they do the chop exchange.
Is that when he bladed?
And he bladed his chest. So when
maybe
he came back from maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But we know they don't do that here in NXT. And
right.
I don't think this was fake blood, unlike last week. This chop was like, it was one of the swatting out the sky, right? So Lexis jumped off the top. Sounded so painful, and the blood trickling down just absolutely made this match for me.
So eventually King comes back with a super kick and a springboard crossbody, which was kind of nice. Eventually it's rolled through, but then King gets the advantage and hits the drive-by, goes for the coronation, but then it's blocked. And eventually, I think I accidentally just deleted what happened in the finish of this match. But who won this match?
Lucian did. He did like a one-handed power bomb.
Tornado Texas bomb. I accidentally...
Yeah, like Raquel Gonzalez, kind of.
I just highlighted where we were, and then I clicked delete, but then deleted the next line. So when I undid it, I was like, that's right. He hit the one-handed Texas Tornado Bomb. Lance Hoyt style right there from Lucian Price for the 1-2-3. So, I guess...
Price looked great, actually. I thought he looked really impressive here. And, I don't know if you should be splitting up OTM, but Price would be fine on his own, I think. I thought he looked good.
It's probably something that's crossing their minds, maybe, with the stuff with Bronco doing the stuff in AAA, and maybe it's not. So this now gives him an opportunity to face Lexis King for the speed title next week. That's what we're getting. Should we just give him the speed title?
I mean, are we going to unify that as well? Like, if we're getting rid of the women's, like, is it time to get rid of the men's?
Yeah, maybe we should.
Price beats him and is like, fuck this.
I don't even want this.
I don't want this. I want to beat people up for longer than 5
Give it to Lil JJ.
Give it to... There you go. There you go.
So, it was an okay match. The highlight of it was the big chop that we mentioned. The slap to the chest. The Birthright are just, chugging along. Right? Did we ever have... We had high expectations for them, didn't we? The bar was really low, but we had high expectations for Birthright.
For OTM or Birthright?
Birthright.
It fizzled real quick, didn't it?
Yeah. Can I just say, in their whole thing is like it's your birthright. And now they do this thing, their pose is like twisting their fingers like DNA.
Oh.
Right?
That's
Can I just add that's like a funny little wrestling pose thing? Because it's in their blood. Get it? I see you, Birthright. I see you. Still love you, Uriah and Charles. Remember when I wanted him to be... He should be NXT champion at this point. I don't know how or wow, but in another universe, he could have got a better character.
He barely even wrestles anymore.
He barely even wrestles on this show anymore. What is he even doing?
Doesn't even show up for Lexis King's match here.
Where is Charles Regal? Come on.
Yeah.
Charlie Dempsey. What are we doing with him? Anyways. From that, we see Thea Hale. No, we see Wren Sinclair and Kendall Gray. And Wren is talking to Mr. Stone about her match with Zaria and says that she wants a rematch. So Mr. Stone is going to give it to her. She says, how about she'll up the stakes and make it a unification match. The North American women's title and the women's speed title next week. Whoever wins, the titles will be unified. What's going to happen? Think Zaria takes it? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, actually, because they might like the idea of, Kendall and Wren being double champs right here.
Maybe.
I'm glad we're getting rid of the speed title, though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah. It's just not a great gimmick. The Heritage Cup, the speed... It's all things you're trying, but I don't necessarily love it. Yeah. I feel the same way about the 20-minute title in AEW. It's like, well, why does it need to be 20 minutes? Like, why did you need to put a time limit on?
I mean, that's a bit more traditional. Like I think that's like we used to always have time limits for different belts and wrestling and stuff, and that's something that WWE just completely get away with. I don't know, for a show that has like 17 different titles, I like that one is actually kind of defined with what it is. But yeah. But
here, this used to be the Twitter title, right? This is just this was a social media thing, and now it's just gone. So yeah, RIP the Speed Women's title next week. It's going away. Thea Hale and Jada Parker are backstage. They're talking about Natty and her baddies. They said, we had Natty and we had their number. Yeah, we worked great together. And Thea says, but I still want Natty again. And thanks, Jada, for having her back, and says, I haven't really had a friend in a while. She's referring to her friends that we can't name. Still, we're still referencing that her friends left because they got fired.
Where's Kale?
Who? Oh, Kale Dixon. Right. She wasn't part of that Chase U, though.
No, I know, but where is he?
I don't know. Somewhere eating kale. She says, I haven't had a friend in a while, so thank you. And Jada says, well, if you fight Natty again, I wish you the best of luck. And says, hey, will you be in my corner? And Jada says, I got you. So Jada and Thea working together as Thea will face Natty, I think, next week. But yeah. We see Romeo and Noam Dar. And Romeo brings up to Noam Dar that, hey, I've been given this opportunity, but I think I have to turn it down. And Noam's like, what is the opportunity? What are you talking about? He goes, well, Mr. Stone gave me a chance in that fatal four-way match, but we are a team, and I don't want to do this. It'll break us apart. And Dar says, no, you're being dramatic. You should go for it. Stop, please. Don't. And that's when they're interrupted by Tristan Angels, who says, oh, funny enough, I'm the fourth man in the four-way. and I'm going to beat you and that bag of bones, La Parka, and I have a body like a cruiserweight, and the title will look great around this great waist.
His line was great. He says, but where is it exactly? He goes like, I don't consider myself a cruiserweight, but when you have a deliciously snatched waist like mine, I can see why people would want me to be a cruiserweight. Snatched waist, lovely. And I think Noam's doing a great job of just pushing Romeo away while seeming like he's his best friend. Because every time a tag team opportunity comes up, it's like, no, just we're not ready yet. And it's like, hey, I've got the singles opportunity. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Absolutely.
Wouldn't Noam be like, yo, what the why am I not in this match? Like,
I love the whole like, hey, Noam's like, well, you know, you're a big fan of the Cruiserweight Classic. It's like, yeah, you made it to the third round.
He's a mark.
Like,
literally is given.
Like, literally, was he even born when the Cruiserweight Classic happened?
Oh,
like,
come on. When even was that? Like 10 years ago?
It was, I think, 9. I think it was happening. I think it was on.
Okay.
When I moved here. So yeah, probably
2016. March 2016. 10 years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, yeah,
sorry. No, it was announced in March 2016. In July 2000. Yeah, August 2016. So yeah, 10 years ago.
So holy Romeo would have been 12.
That's crazy. Poor Noam Dar. Man, Noam Dar.
2005 wrestling. Like, how old were we then?
Yeah, imagine that was my gimmick.
Era. Yeah.
I show up on wrestling in 2015, and I'm talking to all these wrestlers like, oh man, loved you in 2005. I feel like Noam Dar's kayfabe wise at one point just needs to absolutely beat the piss out of Romeo and be like, you're like 12 years old and I'm 33 and still in developmental. Yeah. Where the fuck is Alicia Fox? Why the fuck am I in NXT? What is going on? I don't know what to do with Noam Dar at this position. I feel like they've already see him as this old vet. We said 10 years ago was the debut. So he's been in the WWE system for 10 years. And this is all we've got for him.
Pete Dunne. I mean, Pete Dunne's at least a producer, isn't he now? But Tyler Bate, like you've got all these people from that NXT UK who were so young when they signed, and they're still potentially in their prime, but it's just they've been around forever at this point.
It's crazy. Yeah. Shout out the Cruiserweight Classic. Shout out CW Scene. It's Wei Ting and myself. Yeah, it's very good. So the Fatal 4-Way next week. If I was Dar, I'd be like, Stone, put me in the match too. Why are you only putting one of us? I've literally been here for 10 years. And if you're not going to use me, I'll go wrestle at, other place, FCW or something, or wherever else.
Yeah.
Our main event, number 1 contenders match. The winner will face Tony D'Angelo at NXT Heatwave for the NXT World Championship. The champion, Tony D, joins the commentary desk, and as he's making a moment to talk on the desk, Cruz Montana's music hits, and they kind of are like, oh, he's interrupting you already. Oh, see, there's some tension here. So it's Cruz Montana versus Grayson Waller. I will say I loved Grayson Waller's kangaroo gear. His logo's like a kangaroo with boxer on it.
It almost felt like
I'm Australian.
It almost felt like this was made for when he was with the New Day. I know the New Day were heels and they were all in the black, but think of this next to like the unicorn tights, right? Like if the 3 of them turned babyface, like I feel this is what he'd have worn.
Because in the graphics, I don't know, I'm sure he's worn this and I probably talked about it, but in some of the graphics that they used in the past few weeks here to like promote him, they've used him wearing this Victoria Bitter Australia, this beer, this. So his gear was made to look like the Victoria beer, Victoria Bitter beer. So I loved that reference. I understood that one, but I didn't see him wear that tonight, but I'm pretty sure we've talked about it in the past, but yeah. He loves kangaroo. He should get some koala gear next.
Yeah,
made.
all the stereotypes.
Grayson Waller versus Cruz Montana. His whole thing is New York. His like Titantron and the screen and everything is like, Bronx and all this kind of stuff. Number one contendership match here. There's some nice suplexes back and forth between each other here. Waller's in control. They fight on the outside, and Waller hits a nice side Australian leg sweep into the apron here, which was pretty nice. There's then this crazy face stomp, one of many in this match, actually. Waller loves doing the stomp, doesn't he? But this was like a face stomp here. Very cool, but only a 2 count. Cruz comes back and hits a fireman carry into a face buster for a 2 count. As we come back from break, Waller goes for his roll through, but not into a stunner. It's kind of into like a flatliner here, but cannot keep Cruz down. He goes up top and hits another jumping face stomp. This one was even crazier than the first one. Like, think of Trevor Lee or Cameron Grimes and Kofi Kingston used to do like the stomp to like the chest.
Cave-in?
Yeah, like the cave-in. This is the opposite, where you're kind of caving in mixed with back, like the right? Seth Rollins stomp. Yeah, it's very... This is way more effective than doing a barrel roll into a stunner that is very contrived. This should be his finisher, really. But Cruz kicks out. He goes for that roll-through stunner, but it's blocked, and Spin the Block is connected from Montana. But before Cruz Montana can pick him up or get the pin, someone runs into the ring, and that someone is a debuting Zilla Fatu appears on WWE NXT TV, attacks Cruz Montana, attacks Grayson Waller, and hits them with huge Samoan splashes off the top rope, and then stares down the champion Tony D and says, "I'm taking that title from you," as NXT goes off the air. But yes, Zilla Fatu has signed with WWE, and here he is on NXT. Strap him up. Heatwave, give this man the title, I guess.
4-way? Is that what we can expect?
I would imagine, yeah. I would imagine they just make this a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, I quite like the match. I like Waller being back in NXT. I like him being a bit more serious. I think it works. I thought him and Montana. Or what did Booker keep saying? Montana, I think he kept saying.
Montana.
I thought they gelled together pretty nicely, and there was Waller's always been pretty innovative with some of his moves, and not some of them look more contrived than others, but I thought some of the stuff he pulled out here looked pretty good. And I liked the run-in. We had a few too many on this show, but this one worked. When it's for a big angle and it's a big debut, 100% works. And Zilla Fatu is someone I've been, aware of, but I can't say I've seen any of his stuff before. And I thought he looked pretty good in this beatdown. I thought his splash and his super kicks and everything looked better than Jay. So I was impressed, and I thought there was a moment though where it cuts the crowd and some people are reacting, and you see one bloke go, "Who's that?" And his friend goes, "Oh, it's Zilla Fatu, one of the bloodline." Oh, okay. Like you literally saw that conversation happen. But yeah, I thought he looked good there. So I enjoyed this main event. I enjoyed the closing angle.
Yeah, I know Zilla Fatu being on the indies definitely made a name for himself. There was, I don't know, maybe controversy with him running his mouth and talking trash to certain promoters and stuff like that. But I feel like people had just assumed he was coming in with some of the stuff. Was he at House of Glory a few weeks ago? I know it's all bloodline related. I think it's at least something fresh to do to this show, and I'm not saying he actually... I know I just joked, strap him up. I'm not saying we need to just give him the title right away, but the one thing is we've been going on and on and on about the men's division here. Even they say it in commentary, like multiple times tonight, wrestlers. EK Prosper brought it up, like the commentary bringing up the men's roster kind of on the weaker side. So Mason Rook being brought in. We had Naraku, sure, some cool new people. Now we've got even more people coming in. So it's a new rotating door. Cruz Montana, Grayson Waller being injected in here too. So at least we're building, at least there's some roster of people being built. So I can't say I've been a huge fan of Zilla Fatu on the indies, but I'm totally willing to give him a chance here on NXT and see what they can do with him. Because off the first impression here, pretty good.
Now, like as I said, I haven't watched his indie stuff, but most of the stuff I'm aware about is kind of, you know, controversies and things like that, and mainly attitude, right? Now they're rebuilding the bloodline on Raw and stuff, and you know, Jay beat Solo on Raw and is going to hand deliver him to Roman next week, whatever that means. Like solo babyface run's been pretty fun so far, but I imagine they want the full bloodline for War Games, right? And
yeah,
you know, the one option is get Sammy involved, but Sammy's on SmackDown. He's doing his thing, and I kind of like him separate from that for now because he's doing interesting stuff with Owens and Punk, etc. Do you think NXT is, let's check out what this guy's attitude is? Like, let's see how he is with the trainers, see how he is, like, going back to what we were saying earlier, setting up the ring and things like that. Like, try to maybe humble him a bit and see where his head's at before pulling the trigger and putting him in, because if things work out for him, I don't see him sticking around for long. I do see him inserted as soon as War Games in November. But I think with the kind of, you know, there was talk of that with Kevin Owens when he came in, right? They thought he was going to have an attitude and be a problem with setting up the ring and doing that. And he was golden. He was great. And he was in NXT for like 3-4 months really before moving up. So I could see them wanting to hotshot this guy to the main roster pretty quick, but I think they want to see where his head's at, maybe.
And what he can do, you know, what he's capable of. And if he can, totally. Like they did that with Solo Sikoa. Wasn't in NXT that long.
No.
Right? Like he's been on the main roster for quite a while. But yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot. Look, new debuts. We said earlier about Mason Rook. It's like, okay, we've seen him come in, months have gone by, and they haven't necessarily used him correctly. And he's the way you portray people on this show can affect that. And I don't know. We'll see what we can do with this guy. I'm going to assume Heatwave is a 4-way between the 4 of them. Last week, we were like, hey, just give it to Grayson Waller and then have Santana on the chase. You could still do that. You don't need Zilla to come in and just be NXT champion. I don't know if that's necessarily something you can do. At least Waller had already come through NXT, and the story of all the other 2.0 guys being NXT champion except him. You could go with that, and then Cruz going after him at what's the September? You could easily go to another PLE where Cruz beats Waller and gets the title, right? Like,
yeah, I still kind of think Waller is a better choice, maybe for NXT champion, but I'd happily watch Zilla Fatu run roughshod, but I don't necessarily think he needs to come in and be champ right away.
But they might do. It's kind of it's almost not fair because so many people like work their asses off in that developmental and PC and stuff. But at the same time, they've done that before. Like Ethan Page came in and pretty much won right away in a 4-way match, was it not? So I mean, hey, they have done it before. But yeah, you know what? I'm willing to see what Zilla can bring to WWE, even though I am sick of the bloodline stuff, but. So far, it's not connected to it, so it's just him being himself and beating people up, and I'm okay with that. I didn't really like this episode of NXT, aside from a cool big debut at the end. The best wrestling, if I had to pick a best match of this episode, was Grayson Waller and Cruz Montana.
Yeah, easy.
There was a lot of distractions, a lot of weird ref stuff, a lot of backstage segment, Degrassi High kind of stuff, and looking forward ahead to Heatwave, we have Kendall Gray and Kalani, and I would say that is a strong match to have on Heatwave. And I'd say for people who maybe don't check in and out of NXT, like I'd say Kendall and Kalani is a match that is a big plus, and it is something you would want to check out. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Main event the show with it.
Sure. I mean, if you have that 4-way, that's a pretty big match. But yeah,
True.
that's a pretty big one. Next week we have a tag match: Callie Armstrong and Kalani versus Wren QCC, plus that fatal 4-way cruiserweight thing. Plus, I think they said Natty versus Thea.
Yep.
And who knows? Maybe Zilla Fatu will show up and speak his mind. I'm sure. Maybe Sean Spears shows up and speaks his mind as well.
Yeah, where's Sean? Where is Spearsy?
Yeah, that's everyone's just wondering what's going on with Sean Spears. But there you go. That was NXT. A bit of a thumbs down, thumbs in the middle show for me from tonight. Let us know in the comments. Agree, disagree here on the Post Wrestling YouTube page. Did we have any feedback? I tried to click it. It didn't work.
We did not this week.
Okay,
no.
That's all right. That's okay. Well, you can give us feedback by following Poison Rana Pod on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever it is. Search Poison Rana and give us a follow. This Sunday, we'll go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, talk all about AEW Dynamite, Collision, WWE SmackDown, Kevin Owens, CM Punk, and everything else. Ooh, some Dark Side. I promised we would talk about Dark Side this weekend.
New episodes just dropped.
New episode tonight. So shout out to Renegade, Big Boss Man, Samoa Joe, Necro Butcher. So many great episodes. What a fantastic series. And we'll talk about it this Sunday. And check out our Patreon. As I said, patreon.com/PoisonRana. So many podcasts that we've done. Jackass Review, Best Match Ever, Tanahashi. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, SummerSlam 2001. We're going to be looking at Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay feud and rivalry, and so many other podcasts. So check us out, Poisonrana.ca, and support your local indie wrestling. If you are in the Toronto area, our friends Demand Lucha got a big show next week here in Toronto at Parkdale Hall. They have I think it's Matt Riddle versus Joey Janela. And then a Demand Rumble where it's the Luigi, the pizza guy, is showing up. That's the draw.
I think I saw Marco Stunt being announced as well.
Whoa, okay. Fuck yeah. And then also our friends Northern Crown have a show next week, Sunday, at the Blood Brothers Brewery, which is an awesome show. And they've got some names announced as well. Joey Janela, I think Steve Macklin and Deanna Purrazzo have been announced, and then usually there's some mysteries and stuff like that. So tons of Toronto indie wrestling. I hope you support indie wrestling wherever you are in this world. I know we said we're going to be hitting up Rev Pro when we visit London, and very excited about that as well. And if anyone's got a link or can connect me to get me into mystery wrestling in London, they sold out, and I'm very sad, but I love them very much. So if anyone's got a connect, hit me up. But thank you, everyone. NXT friends. We'll be back next Tuesday as well here on the Post Wrestling website to talk all about some NXT, and we will talk to you very soon. Davey, I hope you have a good night.
You too, Brain. Keep it real.
Keep it real. Stay cool. Take care. Goodbye, and be safe.
Ahoy!